When you hear the Angie Austin and Michael Pelka Show.
People I know who have their seedlings started for the vegetable garden.
Yeah, me too.
If you can't grow your own food, that seems to be a little bit intrusive.
Then you are home. The Valley's News Talk and Podcast. Talk Central Phoenix.
And now, back to more of the N Salsa Show.
So, which of the Latin countries are you from? The one with the Civil War, the one with the cocaine, or the one with the fancy hats?
Welcome back to your Chips and Salsa show. I'm Don Jorge with my co-host.
I'm Alice Lara, here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Thanks for tuning in.
And I wanted to make mention that our logo back here is Monica Lara. And David Beasley is behind some of the songs that you hear in our intro. So we wanted to acknowledge them. Remember to download this app. Tell your friends to download the app on Central Radio.
Central City Radio.
Central City Radio. Just download it. Again, we have our guest here, Michelle Candelaria, the chairwoman for the Republican National Hispanic Assembly. What were we talking about?
I thought you were going to promote the Second Assembly.
I have one more thing to say. We have Writers USA is having a rally on February the 20th at the state capitol, and it's going to be great. We're going to even try to have a table there, and you can come meet us, Alice, myself, and it's going to be a slew of people speaking. It's going to be one of the biggest events they've had. They've had this, I don't know, this is how many times they've had this already. It's about their fourth or fifth time at the Capitol, and the roaring motorcycles as they get there. And it's a Second Amendment rally, and they're going to be auctioning off or raffling off a couple of guns there.
We really encourage you to come because it's really a happening rally. I tell you, places like that too, and I know George will agree with me, you feel really safe because, people are armed, but they know what they're doing, and we've just got a great bunch of people. Have you ever been to one?
No.
Second Amendment?
No.
You guys need to go. Maybe you even need to get a booth there.
I think we'll try.
To represent. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, there's tables available. It's at the Capitol Lawn in Phoenix, 1700 West Washington Street, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's the right to keep and bear arms is a natural right guaranteed by the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. It ensures that our right to self-defense will never be diminished or taken away. And we are in the crossroads right now of our nation's history where frantic efforts are underway to disarm you, and they are trying to disarm you. The law-abiding citizens join us to hear from experts on how each one of us can play an integral part in maintaining our rights to keep and bear arms. It's going to be a fantastic day. It's, again, February the 20th, 2021, the Second Amendment
the Second Amendment
rally. And you can go to www.secondamendmentrallyaz.com and get more information if you're a vendor and would like to purchase a table there. They're available. And there's going to be a lot of vendors. And like I said, we're going to be there, but we're just going to be passing out leaflets, interviewing people on our show.
Right.
It's going to be great.
Right, so please join us there. All right, let's get back to our interview with Michelle Candelaria. And what we were talking about during the break is the participation and the future of the Latinos within the GOP party. And I was mentioning that our culture, we're a very loyal band of people. And I think that the left might think that we're just going to go away. I don't think that's going to happen, Michelle. What do you think?
One of the nice things about being involved in this whole process is I'm finding that, Latinos, we care about faith, family, freedom, financial freedom, being financially capable of taking care of ourselves. And more Latinos want to get involved. They want to be part of the process. They want to be part of the answer and solution. And they're finding that the Republican Party, the way it stands today, is the one that they identify with. The same morals, the same values, and that the Democratic Party has changed so much that it's not the Democratic Party of 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's completely different, and it's scary for a lot of the Latinos that we speak to. So they're really excited about the possibility of working with us and becoming part of the process and part of the solution. So I'm finding that to be really exciting.
And President Trump, or the Trump movement, whatever you want to call it, we have really brought in a lot more Latinos. And it's been so exciting that, so I think the movement will still keep progressing, as you said, because we're naturally in. And George, you've probably been doing politics for quite a while too. I didn't realize that you've always been a Republican. You beat us because we were Democrats before. But it's a matter of when you actually talk to someone. We are pro-life. We are a platform of pro-life and family, as you say. And it's just a natural partnership to actually be a Republican.
I think Latinos tend to vote their values. And whenever you look at voting your values, it makes it really easy to identify with the Republican Party because we have faith, we have family, we have freedom, both financial and freedom of speech, freedom of religion. And so our First Amendment really resonates with the Latino community.
And speaking of First Amendment, we were also talking about today, they did release, I think it was pre-recorded, but President Trump did have a farewell speech, so to speak, and I thought he did a very good job. He laid out quite a bit of his his accomplishments.
He has been one of the most successful presidents that we've known. And when he listed out everything that he was able to do for us as a country, and I think one of the things that he did really well for us as a country is he spoke to us in positive terms, with hope, with plans on how to accomplish our dreams and how to help all of us be more successful. And I loved the fact that he said, his goal was to put America first so that we could become stronger. And it always, that comment actually reminded me of whenever you get in a plane, they tell you, put your face mask on first and then help the people around you. So that's kind of what he was asking us to do, is let's take care of ourselves so that we become stronger as company and people, as a country, and then we can start taking care of everybody else. But we have to be strong here first. And I think that was his message of hope that he always told us, is that America first, not to hurt other people, but to make us better and stronger so that we can help, because Americans always do step up and help.
He did a good job with that, and he also kind of put a little mention in there, kind of like, don't mess up all this good stuff that we've done, because really a lot of good stuff has happened.
I'm hoping that they don't make a whole lot of changes. We're seeing, that they're going to open up the borders again, which is scary, not because we don't want people in, but with COVID, if that's not under control, and they're leaving Honduras because of the huge COVID influx that they are facing, they're going to bring that here. And if there's other strains of the COVID that are even worse than what we're currently facing, what of those might come with us? I think we just kind of need to reset and settle down and get ourselves reorganized under the new administration before they open everything up. Scary.
Do you follow Oscar El Blue?
No.
You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
So he is a reporter, and he lives in Tijuana. He's a Mexican citizen. He has beautiful English, and he will give updates usually every day. And he was talking about the caravan down there in Honduras. And first it started out something like 4,000 or 5,000 people, and now I think it's about 9,000 people. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we hadn't really heard too much about that. The wall was being built. I'm not saying we didn't have any illegal immigration, but that pretty much had been really in very, very good light and in progress. So I fear that that's going to go back. And, we were all Latinos here, but I think we all agree we're also about rule of law.
Yes. I think what most people don't understand is that every Latino that I've ever spoken to, they came here legally, they followed the process, and that's the thing that we need to continue to do, is just come here legally, follow the law. You have to learn about the Constitution, you have to learn about our country so that you can become part of the country and integrate and assimilate much better. So I think legal immigration is what we have and what we should continue to have. I was reading in one paper where they're saying if illegals can prove that they were here since January 1st, they can, documentation, they will get asylum under the new administration. And how many people that is, I don't know, but it's kind of scary that you can just, maybe make a fake document and say you were here in January and just be allowed citizenship. I think we should probably vet people and make sure that they're following the same process that everybody else has had to.
I couldn't agree with you more. I was watching the Sunday shows this last weekend, and I think it was your good buddy Chris Wallace, George, Don Jorge, and he was talking to a Biden advisor. And Chris Wallace, to his credit, he's been getting me, I get mad at him pretty much lately, but he did say, he goes, we've had unemployment's been about 3.5%. The economy's been humming along. How do you, what do you think about that? And going into this new Biden administration, and I couldn't believe it. What he said. Well, people really haven't been happy with how the economy's been moving. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? I mean, just so blatant in your face. I couldn't believe it. And
that's the way of indoctrinating people and they keep repeating the bad mantra so many times. Yeah. People actually believe it. Yeah. They actually believe it.
Soft brainwashing.
Yeah, it's a form of brainwashing. If you say it enough times, even if it's not true, it actually works.
I agree with you, but I think a lot of people are starting to question mainstream media, and they're looking for someplace else to go. So as long as they continue to try and misinform and misdirect and to tell us that what you saw isn't the truth when we've seen it with our own eyes and we've been able to watch it, that people are looking for alternative ways to get their information and to get their media. And in the long run, they're losing people. I think the numbers for CNN is all of mainstream media is way down. And what's really scary is now you have CNN trying to get rid of Fox and OAN, so that those alternatives they're trying to take them away from us.
And the thing is, it was predicted a long time ago. Me and Alice were part of this a long time ago when we were going on social media, and we were told that social media is the trend in the future. And they were right. It's starting to trend towards social media, towards podcasts, toward certain stations that people are starting to tune into because they're getting the real news from them rather than the big 4 or big 7 or whatever.
And even this format here, because a lot of times you've I'm sure experienced it on Facebook and things. They limit your access and restrict this and that. But if you download the free app, Central City Radio app, well then you just go listen to us with that app, and you don't have to worry about anybody else censoring you. Now we're running out a little bit of time. I do want to talk about the inauguration tomorrow, but please tell people why they should join your organization and how they can do that.
You can go to the RNHAAZ.com, and you can join. We will have another meeting in February, and we'll get that information and post it on the website. You can also find us on Facebook. But if you are wanting to become part of the Republican process as a Latino, that's what our group focuses on, the Latino group, Latino people coming to join to become part of the answer for politics as we move forward. We are the largest growing minority in the nation, and we have a huge voice and a strong voice, and together, if we work together to form what we want to say and how we want to say it, that's what we're going to try and do at the Republican National Hispanic
And you
Assembly.
don't have to be Latino to be part of the Republican Hispanic National Assembly.
Correct. More than, I would say, maybe 20 to 25% are who they come and they're not Latinos. So nope, you do not have to be Latino to join.
And we welcome in because me and Alice are members.
We're members.
But we welcome in everybody as long as you're a conservative and you believe in the cause of the Republican Hispanic National Assembly.
That is a good question. So maybe you are an independent, but if you're a conservative, can you still join, or must you be a Republican?
No, we have independents there as well. It's amazing. We have just so many different people who want to become part of us, and because of our messaging of faith, freedom, family, and financial, where we're financially stable on our own without any kind of support from the government, then we're the organization for you to join. And we're actually making some new strides this year with education and information. We'd love people to come and be part of the solution.
It's very educational too, and I know you have community projects. You've been out in the community and do things, and I'm sure that's still part of your plan.
Yes, we're going to do education, public outreach, and we have a few more things that we're going to be launching later in the year, so we're really excited about that. We're going to have a national convention.
I was going to ask you about that. Are they still having that?
We're going to have that later in the year once everything opens up nationwide. We're actually talking about which states we could go to that are open for conventions.
Because they were thinking at one time Puerto Rico, but then I heard Florida as being a hub for that, or you're thinking of other places?
Texas is one because they're open for conventions. We talked about Florida. We had our first meeting about 2 weeks ago. We'll have another one in a couple of weeks, and then we'll get everything set up at a state level and then chapter level so that no matter where you are in Arizona, you can be part of our organization.
Great. Okay, so we're down to like our last minute, but we would like to invite you just to stay when we talk to Dr. Ward, and you're welcome to ask questions. That'd be great. You could do that. But I do encourage you. It's a great organization. Chairman to chairman. It's a great organization to be a part of. We've enjoyed that, and we've slowed down a little bit because of this China virus, but that's okay because we're going to pick up. I think the momentum will be even stronger.
I do too.
All right. So we've been talking to Michelle Candelaria. She's going to stay with us. She is she's the chairwoman of the Arizona Republican National Hispanic Assembly. And so we invite you to stay with us. Our next guest will be on the phone, Dr. Kelly Ward, and we're going to talk about her candidacy for the Arizona GOP chairmanship. And I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge.
And so we'll be right back. Don't go away because we still got plenty of the Chips and Salsa Show to go here on Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix.